Okay, what about the gazebo? The the one up above
Castle
Sinatra
Point?
Park. That one that needs the repair.
Right, so that's part of the funding that
Is
we're,
it? Okay.
yeah, that's part of the $10 million price tag. So that we're, as we apply for funding, that is, Castle Point is part of that.
Is there any potential for more waterfront open space up by 16th Street Pier north of the shipyard?
Well, we're 1600 Park, we're moving on. So we're doing the site remediation, and we're going to be reaching out to the community and starting a community planning process, and finding a planner, and so we're
Okay.
definitely moving on that.
Any update on potential realignment of Patterson Plank Road?
The study is continuing, so we were on site and with the county officials and who were part of doing the study, and I'll have to get back to you on the exact completion date of that, but that study is moving along.
Okay, how about anything on the Southwest Park? Any developments there?
Well, they are, our Brandy Forbes, our Director of Community Development, is working with the Planning Board on choosing going out to for RFQ to get the study done to figure out whether it's an area in need of redevelopment.
Okay. Is there any plans maybe on using the website a little bit more effectively, perhaps to provide like monthly updates on these type of projects so that people can kind of check in to see what the developments are? Has there been any thought on that?
Yes, it's definitely something that I want to do, and I want to start doing, providing more information through the website, and I want to start up an email, get back to doing like an email update.
Okay.
To the community as well.
Okay.
So.
And as part of that, is there any plans to make the website searchable and provide more information on all the like municipal issues related to contracts and things of that nature?
Yes, I'm absolutely looking. I mean, I think we probably need to do a whole revamping of the website. I mean, right now I'm just trying to, and that's something that we would, I think, do for next year. But right now we're just trying to use it as a place to update.
Okay.
But,
I'm sure you hear a lot of different things. There's always critics out there. Do you ever feel that you'll be able to win some of those critics over in terms of their skepticism, perhaps around issues on, for example, transparency and things of that nature?
I'm always going to try to be as transparent as possible, and make this government as accountable as possible. I mean, I recognize though, no matter what you do, what process you set up, there's always going to be someone that's criticizing. So they may not be doing it because you're not being open and accountable. They're doing it just for political purposes, and that's just always, that's the nature of politics, sadly.
Right.
So that's just going to happen, and I have to do what I believe is right, and set up the process that I believe works. I mean, one thing that we do want to try to do is, speaking about the technology, like we want to get exchange servers put in so that people can apply to the boards online. And right now the process is very tedious, and we need to make it much easier, both for residents who want to apply, who want to learn about the positions and just apply online. I mean, they shouldn't have to come into City Hall. So eventually, I want to change that process. And then from an internal standpoint, it's difficult. So we need to make that process much smoother, and that can be done through an exchange server system.
Okay. Last, just in general, it's always hard to get out public information to the widest general audience. What is it that you would probably like have on your mind today, or that you would most like to share with the people of Hoboken right now?
Well, this week has been, this last week, I feel like it's been kind of a sad week. We've had three deaths in Hoboken, and then the fire that happened, and so one, this is kind of on a more personal level, but the one thing that I would like to say to all the renters out there is, like, you gotta get renters insurance. I think about this fire that happened, and I just learned that the fire was caused by someone smoking on the rooftop, and they threw the cigarette butt down between the buildings.
So it was from inside the building somebody threw it?
From the rooftop.
From the roof threw it?
Yeah.
Wow.
And, you know, so I was on site and talking to a number of people who didn't have renter's insurance, and, you know, it's just, they've lost everything. And, you know, and so many people you just don't realize. I mean, one young woman said to me, well, if it wasn't part of my rent, then I didn't know I needed to get it, you know. And so I hope that people, when they read about these fires that happen, will think, you know, you gotta protect yourself, you gotta go out and get that renter's insurance, because it's not really that expensive, and it protects you.
Okay. Well, that leads to just one more quick question, since you brought up the renter's insurance, which just kind of brings to mind rent control itself. I know the city's going to basically kickstart that whole thing. And do you have any feelings that you would want to say about the existing policies, and where do you think that whole process needs to go?
I can't say exactly. I mean, I think that we need to, we're going to be making some investments in technology to make sure that we have our process in place in City Hall, and so we definitely need to work on that to make sure that we're implementing it properly. And I think that we're doing a good process of sort of reviewing the whole ordinance, but I can't really take a position at this point as to exactly how it should or should not be changed.
Okay.